It's a tough subject. No one wants to think about their loved one cheating, but if it's happening, don't you deserve to know about it? Hi, I'm Allie, and joining me today is ace private investigator with 18 years of experience. Darren Gilio is a master at exploring infidelity cases. And he's here with us today to help find the signs of a cheater and confirm your suspicions. Welcome, Darren.
Thank you for having
me.
me.
So this is a tough subject. So how long have you, how did you start becoming a private investigator?
Ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to help people, and I was in the Marine Corps, and when I came out of the Marine Corps, I went to school, and I was thinking about going into law enforcement or something like that. I was recruited out of St. John's in my criminal justice program to work with the United States Secret Service. I worked there for a little bit, and during that time, I was interested in doing more of the private work.
Yeah.
And I ended up opening my own agency in the 90s, North American Investigations, based here in New York. And we specialize in a lot of different kind of cases, but as more importantly,
a lot of people come in for this, right?
Yeah, infidelity is a huge part of our workload and caseload. Absolutely.
So let's get right into it. Where do most affairs begin? Like at the office, or?
Yeah, that's a good question. Most affairs do start. I would say 50% of our caseload, the affairs start in the workplace. You have to understand, when people spend a lot of time places, especially work, that's when people form relationships and bonds with people, and that's when sometimes problems can come with infidelity there. The workplace, places like the gym, places that, where people have hobbies, they're attending certain meetings that they're used to going to. These are the kind of places where they meet people, they form relationships and bonds, and sometimes that's where the problem can begin. Nowadays with technology and online, especially with these online dating sites, there's so many out there. Cheating can start from your own home and residence. With these particular dating sites, it's just very easy to sign up with anonymous accounts and anonymous emails and start, looking for people to become involved in affairs. There's even that site that caters for cheating people and cheating spouses. So I hear that stuff on the radio all the time, and it's kind of it's a surprise to me that people want to get involved with that, because infidelity is such a devastating thing for people. So when people call me all the time and they want to talk to me about infidelity cases, they're asking me, a lot of things have been happening, and what are the signs of cheating and that kind of thing. And the first thing I explain to people is that you didn't wake up this morning and decide to call me to investigate your significant other. Basically, it's a culmination of attitudes, patterns, behaviors, and things that were making you feel uneasy, and this leads to that gut feeling. By the time someone's on a phone with a private investigator, that gut feeling is 98% accurate that there is something going on that needs to be investigated or looked at. So, you really be true to yourself and true to your gut feelings. It's usually a very accurate barometer, because nobody knows your significant other better than you, and that's really the truth. So the thing is that with infidelity, you don't want hypothesis or conjecture. You want to be able to have factual things. I mean, whether these are life-altering decisions that you need to make, whether if you're in a marriage, you want to leave the marriage or decide to work out the marriage, or even if it's just a boyfriend or girlfriend situation, these are people you're spending time with, and you don't want to be lied to. The worst truth is better than any lie, in my opinion. But there are a lot of telltale signs, a lot of signs of infidelity that are the ways that you can kind of feel if something is definitely going on with infidelity in your relationship. One of the biggest things I always ask clients is, is there unaccounted time in their schedule? If you're with someone and they always had this steady schedule of working 9 to 5, and then they're home at 5:30, or and all of a sudden they're at work meetings and overtime and this kind of thing, and there's a lot of unaccounted for time, that's something where you want to, something's wrong with that. Especially patterns. People are usually creatures of habit, and they have these certain patterns with work or school or hobbies, and once those deviate, that's something that that you want to look into. Intimacy is a big thing with infidelity. Obviously, if you're in a relationship and there's an intimacy level there, as far as sexual in nature, if there is a decrease in your sexual relationship, that's something that to be concerned about. And even sometimes with an increase in sexual intimacy, such as they want to try new things, all of a sudden you had this same kind of sex for a long time, and all of a sudden there's all these like kind of new things that they're exploring. You know, where do they learn this kind of stuff? That's something that you want to look out for. You know, how is a person acting towards you? Are they disinterested? Are they distracted? Is it seem that they're just, you know, looking for excuses not to, you know, spend time with you or do things that you used to always do together? They're always looking for an excuse for that. That is something that you want to look out for as well. You know, nowadays the cell phones are a big thing. I get calls all the time. You know, people all of a sudden, they used to leave their cell phone around and unlocked and not password protected, and all of a sudden they're going to the bathroom in their shower with their phone. It's like attached to them with like crazy glue to their hip. There's something on that phone they might not want you to see, because listen, there is modes. When someone is involved in a relationship, there's a mode of communication. So they're either talking to somebody physically, face to face, they're talking to someone electronically with a phone or a computer or email. So these are the things that you want to look for as well. So how are they really guarded with their phone? Are they, you know, password protecting it? Are they really like making you have no access to their phone? They're very secret about it. And at the same time, when you're trying to get in touch with them, when you don't know where they are, is their cell phone off, always going to voicemail? They don't return your calls in a timely fashion. They are receiving strange calls at strange times or texts. And, you know, if sometimes you glance over at their phone and you see it and you see strange numbers or strange texts that you didn't know, or contacts in their address book in their phone of people that you don't know, their names you never heard of, they never mentioned, you know, that's something that you want to look for too. The computer is another way that infidelity is a problem, especially like I was talking about before earlier. It was about these online dating sites. But, you know, are they always very secret about the computer? Are they, you know, trying to use the computer alone? And if you walk into the room, let's say they're shutting the computer or they're shutting the screen down, stuff like that. You know, what are they hiding? You know, people, you know, if they're hiding something, you know, sometimes they're not. They're obvious about it, and they're not so secretive. So that's something that you want to look for as well. You know, behavioral changes. You know, just in their habits, in the way they are treating you. Are they becoming more short-tempered? Are they becoming more nasty? Are they looking for ways to fight with you, where you'll look for an excuse to fight because they really want to go out somewhere else? So if they figure that's a good way to escape from, you know, the home or an event that you had planned together. And talking about events, another thing, business events. You know, you used to attend a lot of, you know, if you have someone that's involved in a business where there's functions and there's gatherings or conventions where they always would invite you, and they're now looking for excuses to not invite you or not attend, and they want to attend alone. You know, why is that? What's the reasoning behind that? That's another sign that we look for. Interest in themselves. You know, all of a sudden, you know, they're really concerned about looking really good. They're going to the gym more often. They're dieting. They're buying new clothes, a new hairdo, a new haircut. Really taking interest in how their appearance is. That's something that, you know, is in an infidelity case. You know, a lot of people, they start getting in these new relationships. They want to look the best they can. They want to dress the best they can. They want to feel good. You know, there's a lot of people that, you know, they talk about midlife crisis, or, you know, they're getting a little bit older, losing a little bit more hair, like me. And, you know, they want to, you know, try to find, you know, it's an ego boost sometimes, you know, finding someone that's making them feel special. So they want to look their best for that person, just like, you know, they did in the beginning with you. And all of a sudden they were disinterested in about their way they were appearing to you. But all of a sudden now they have this new way of wanting to, you know, really look good. There's money stuff. Like, is there unexplained missing money? Is there any kind of strange charges on their credit card, or any strange transactions on their bank accounts? These are something that if you have access to, if you're maybe a married couple and you share finances, where, you know, you would see strange withdrawals or cash withdrawals from the ATM, and what are they doing that money? It's not normal, something they would do something like that. Some people want to use cash because if they're going out, they want to be more clandestine to, you know, take someone out to dinner or drinks or that kind of thing. So, you know, keep a lookout on the finances, and if there's any kind of strange activity going on there. Especially also receipts. I mean, are there any weird receipts, you know, from restaurants or bars or hotels that you come across in someone's, workspace that you have access to or something like that, you know, in there. And I'm not saying to, you know, snoop around people's wallets and stuff like that, but, you know, if you have access, if this is again more for a person that's living together or a married couple, you know, you want to maybe you look for any kind of weird paperwork or receipts or anything that doesn't make sense.